Hello guys, this is your host Push Dustin, and joining me today is Nintenjax.
Hello guys.
And today we are here to talk about a recent Datamine leak from ARMS. This was originally posted on the ARMS subreddit by Koopa Star Road with Shiny Quagsire 23. You might remember him from the Smash for 3DS and Wii U data mining as well. And he kind of added a little bit more information. But basically what people found is there's about 20 code names in the ARMS game data from 1.0, with a couple characters kind of still being worked on. We won't be listing them all on, but there's some interesting names, and we thought we would quickly discuss what our thoughts on these characters are. Are there any names or characters that stick out to you?
Yeah, well, I just wanted to begin this by saying, like, we had an article planned that I was running about what we thought the next one would be, with a list of like potential ideas, and like it's nice to see that some of them some of the ideas we had are also in this thing, but it just basically means the article is now not worth, well, unless we really go out of our way to not do the ones in the data mine, but then we know it's not going to happen. So it's like, now I'm in a tough situation.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because the Switch has been opened so quickly in its lifespan. Like, I never expected that the system would be, games would be data mined this early.
Yeah. So some of the things that we were thinking of were like, I had sweets, and someone had vines, and we had a frog that could maybe punch with his tongue. Someone had spaghetti, and someone had like a slinky, like the
Yeah.
But yeah, sweets and I guess plants are both part of the data mine, along with a bunch of other stuff. So, and according to Shiny Quagsire, sweets is the one with the most work done on it. Meaning we're probably going to get someone with, like, I don't know, I can imagine it being licorice as the
something like
arms,
that.
and then like maybe a candy-based thing, and then a bunch of ones that are just copies of other arms. So that's probably what we're getting. In plants, we already have roses. Twintail already does the rose sort of theming, and so we're probably going to get one with vines or something. Yeah, vines or ivy or something like that.
Yeah. So, Shiny Quagsire, he said that there are 5 characters that look like they're still being worked on, and that's Coil, Shaman, Tarzan, Lady, and Sweet.
Okay. See, the few of them confuse me because some of them aren't in the the initial data mine thing that I saw. The NeoGAF post doesn't have Lady, Tarzan, or Shaman in it, so I don't quite know where he got these names from.
Post just only consists of the 1.0 data, and I think Shiny Quagsire has the 1.1 data.
Okay. You mean 2.0 data? I thought there was a 2.0 data.
On his comment, he says it's 1.1, so...
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to go with that for now.
Okay, so are they, like, added... Do you know if they're, like, additional ones, or if the names actually changed of the...
He says that these are the characters that have some added files into them.
Okay, because it's stuff like, I'm thinking... So some of the ones in the ARMS list were very similar to one another. So there was one that was like Twintail, and then another that was Hare. And so they could have been... Twintail could have been an early version of Twintail. Or there's stuff like Chain, which is very associated with Ninjara, but Ninjara also has Ninja there. So are both files connected to him? And I know some people have been talking about some people were talking about the Robo file, but I think that could probably be, the dog, Bark, and Bite is police, because Bark was originally programmed first and made independently. So I feel like they probably have separate files in there.
Koopa Star Road doesn't go into great detail but exactly about how the names were found, or exactly what the references were used for.
Okay.
So it could be a number of things. Like, they could be just leftover development files. They could be codes used for a certain particular mode or something like that.
Okay.
We're not exactly sure with the list of 20.
Right. But what I was thinking is that some of them, like Robo and Police, might be connected in ways, in Twintail and Hare. We could have stuff like the Tarzan one could be connected to the Plants one. And so we could have like a jungle boy who uses vines and stuff. Tarzan swings on vines and all that. So we have some Tarzan type character with vines for arms who is known for swinging around stuff. Maybe that's connected to whatever his gimmick is. And the lady character could be connected to. Oh no, Sweets is already its own thing. So Sweets is a separate file. But yeah, the others, Shaman, Lady, and Coil could all be connected to ones from the other Datamine, like to get more information. But thinking of I guess I already gave what I thought about for the Tarzan one. What do you think we might, and the Sweets one I said licorice. What do you think we might get for the other three?
The Lady is probably the hardest one to guess.
Yeah.
Just because it could do it in a number of directions. Like, is she going to use her legs? Is she just going to be an arms character?
Yeah.
A generic, human-like character? It's very hard to say.
Yeah, and what do they mean by lady? Do they mean a posh lady type thing, like a fancy one, or or is it just because she's a girl, so the file name is just lady? It seems like.
Yeah, it's very hard because with the other arms character, for example, like you said, with police, we can figure out, oh, that's bite and bark.
Yeah.
Or
just
with
bite.
hair, that's twintella.
Yeah. But I have my thoughts for what Coil could be. I was thinking about this when I was coming up with some of the OCs, and a lot of fighting games you get characters who are very similar to each other, like Ryu and Ken. Well, when I was trying to think of Springman, he's obviously Springs, but another way of doing Springs is Coil, stuff like that. And so I was thinking, what if they add a Ken-style rival character for Springman?
But doesn't Springman and Max Brass
not really. I mean, Max. Well, I mean,
they share the same ability.
Max Brass's ability is that he can, his main ability is that he can jump between being a medium fighter and a heavy fighter by charging up. But he also has the bonus ability that when he's weak on energy, he can, he gets his buff up thing. So he's permanently large, and that makes him stronger. That's what his thing is, which is kind of like Springman's, where he gets his. Well, all his arms are permanently charged when it's at the end. But you don't need to. He doesn't need to share the exact same ability to act as a rival to Springman. He could have a. I don't know what they would do to completely differentiate it. But I think as a character concept, having a rival might be a interesting dynamic. He's there because he wants to. Springman's there because he wants to be the champion and beat Max Brass, but this guy's there because he wants to be better than Springman, or he's inspired by Springman. He wants to be. He's like a Springman fanboy who happened to get long arms one day, and so wants to be like him. And it's just thoughts I had.
Just wakes up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then in the original 1.0 data, there's a surprise character.
Surprise.
Yeah, surprise.
That's just what it says. And I must have missed that one. Okay, sure. Is it like a clown or a party-based thing?
A Jack-in-the-Box would be interesting.
Oh yeah, that is a good idea. Would it be like an actual guy? Would he be in his box? Or would his arms be Jack-in-the-Boxes? I could see a clown. Yeah, I could see a clown where what you can't do is, how every character has their arms out? His are in boxes on his shoulders, so that you can't see them, and then when you punch, they spring out like that.
Yeah,
I could see that being a surprise thing, so you don't know. It's all that would be that would be the surprise, because then you don't anticipate him and he comes out of nowhere. So,
yeah,
I like that. I want to see that now. Come on, Nintendo. I guess there was Shaman as well. Well, I'm wondering
Shaman,
what that is like. Does he not actually have spring arms? The arms just float there, he's using magic. Because that could be an interesting thing.
Summon arms.
Yeah, well, the whole idea is that, the arm, as long as they got range, it doesn't matter if they have springy arms or not, I guess. So could he literally be that he just uses magic to have floating punching gloves, basically? Yeah. And he just lobs them at people.
Or one idea is that he could be kind of like, I know in a lot of fighting games they have a character that can use a lot of the other characters' moves. He could kind of be like that kind of character where he uses moves from everyone else.
Is that a thing that really works in ARMS though? Because it's not that everyone really has individual moves. They have the individual arms that do all the comboing, and you can apply any arm to any character. So maybe you can't
just
set
comes
an
out
arm.
with a random glove then.
I think that's how they would do it. That'd be interesting, but yeah, it's interesting how many characters do you think we'll get then? Because there was 7 in the initial 1.0 and then an additional 3 in the 1.1. So that's, or was it 9? Oh no, it was 9.
I think in the 1.0, if we get everyone in 1.0, then it would be 20. But if it's just the names that are being worked on, then I think it's about 15 or 16.
I was just thinking of the characters who we won't announce, because yeah, there's 11 playable right now, and then there was 9 in 1.0 and then an additional 3 in the 1.1. But some of them, like we said earlier, might be connected, and only 5 of them have been properly worked on. So some might be just ideas that they had.
Might only be 16.
Yeah. But I guess the next one we're going to get is the Sweets character, because that's the one with the most work done on it, apparently.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I've been loving ARMS.
Yeah, it'll be a good reason for me to get back into it. Now that I've done the campaign mode with everyone on like a high enough difficulty where I can get their end screen. I haven't had the chance I haven't really played it since I moved on to a different game, because I just got so many games to get through. But I should play more online, and I think I hope the next character comes soon enough that, you know, I'll be motivated to come down. Probably whenever the next Nintendo Direct happens, we'll get a trailer showing it off.
Mm-hmm. I think it kind of makes sense that a lot of these character names were in the files, because with ARMS from the very beginning, they planned on kind of releasing content regularly after the game's launch, kind of like what Splatoon did. And Splatoon 2 also had a recent Datamine leak. I mean, it makes sense that a lot of this content would still be in the base game, even if it's not finished.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments what you think, what kind of characters you would want in the next ARMS update. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with news, reviews, and a lot more from Source Gaming. On August 20th, we'll be hosting a 24-hour charity livestream. We'll be announcing more details about that very soon, so make sure you go on to source-gaming.com in order to find out more information about that.
Alright guys, see you later.